Well, the topic of the day is the correctness proof of an algorithm. So when we write an algorithm, what we have discussed so far is the complexity of the algorithm. कि एक algorithm क्या है, एक algorithm की complexity क्या है. But now we want to know the correctness proof of that algorithm. कि क्या algorithm वही expected answer दे रही है जो हमें मिलना चाहिए था. Is the actual answer is equal to the expected answer. So first of all, we need to define what is correctness. An algorithm is correct if for any valid input. So we must focus on the fact that the input should be valid. We are not going to consider the invalid input. So a correctness or an algorithm is correct if for any valid input it produces the result required by the algorithm specification. For example, if we are writing an algorithm to sort an array or a list, so we specify that for the valid integer array as input. तो हम लोगों ने तो जब फंक्शन में array को पास करना है तो हम लोग उसका स्टार्टिंग एड्रेस डालें. तो बेसिकली द इनपुट इज द बेस एड्रेस ऑफ द array. सो इट डज नॉट हैव एनी इंफॉर्मेशन कि वो कौन सी टाइप का एरे है. तो इनपुट तो चला गया, बट इट इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हु इज गिविंग द इनपुट to check whether the array is a valid integer array or not. If it is not, then we cannot expect that we are going to get the required result. The sort function basically is going to sort all the elements inside the integer array in some order. Now that order can be both the ascending and the descending order. Okay, so the result that is returned is correctly sorted integer array for any value. So what has been returned to us is correct or not. For that we are going to study the correctness of an algorithm and what is the proof whether the result given by the algorithm is correct. So the topic, like I said, I repeat, is finding the correctness proof of an algorithm, whether for a valid input the result given by the algorithm is correct or not. So what's the next thing that we can see is, why not just test. हम लोग टेस्ट क्यों नहीं कर लेते हैं. So testing is very important, but unfortunately the testing is not the proof of the correctness of the algorithm, because the testing is done based upon certain criteria which is known as test cases. So that means the testing quality or the effectiveness of the testing actually depends upon the quality of the test cases that we have taken. But what we want is that we want that absolute correctness of the algorithm for all possible inputs. Is it clear? So what kind of testing that we can do is that we can test the correct values like 1, 2, 3. We can test for some incorrect values. जैसे प्राइम नंबर के लिए हम लोग करेक्टनेस थ्रू टेस्टिंग चेक करते हैं. जनरली जब हम प्रोग्राम्स बनाते हैं तो हम लोग जो उसकी करेक्टनेस है वो टेस्टिंग के थ्रू ही करते हैं. ठीक है ना. तो हम क्या करते हैं, बेसिकली व्हाट वी डू इज, हम लोग थोड़ा सा इनपुट्स देना शुरू करते हैं, द नंबर्स विच आर प्राइम, देन वी गिव सर्टेन नंबर्स विच आर नॉट प्राइम. और अगर हम लोग कोई लिमिट रेंज के बीच में काम कर रहे हैं तो वी ऑल्सो वुड लाइक टू टेस्ट द बाउंड्री कंडीशंस. क्या हम जब बाउंड्री को क्रॉस करते हैं तो क्या होता है. बट like I said, that testing is not the most effective method to check the correctness, क्योंकि जो testing है that depends upon the quality of the test cases that we have generated, and it is not completely exhaustive. That means ये सारा हर चीज को cover नहीं करता है, and there are many missing tests that we do not check. Okay, so करेक्टनेस के लिए अकेला टेस्टिंग को यूज करना इज नॉट अ प्रूफ ऑफ द करेक्टनेस ऑफ द एल्गोरिथम. सो व्हाट वी नीड टू डू, we need to express our algorithm as a mathematical entity. For example, if we are let's say arranging the elements in a sorted order, so both of you are there. So now when I say that there is a need to give a mathematical entities and we are going to use them. So first of all, we need to understand what is a mathematical entity. For example, like I said, for ascending order can be this also. Ascending order can be this also. So what is the basic definition of an ascending order? Any list which is in non-decreasing order is called ascending order. So that means the list should not be in non-decreasing. Increase हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है वो भी एक बात है, लेकिन डिक्रीज नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर डिक्रीज नहीं हो रहा है तो it is ascending order. Further, we are going to place the first element in the list. So for all I, C of I should be less than equal to C of I plus 1. So for all I except I is equal to except I is equal to n, हम लोग लास्ट एलिमेंट के लिए चेक नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि उसके आगे एलिमेंट नहीं होगा, लेकिन 1 से लेके n-1 तक हम हर एलिमेंट की वैल्यू चेक करेंगे, एंड इफ दैट वैल्यू इज लेस देन और इक्वल टू द नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट देन इट इज द ascending order. So what is the mathematical notation entity of ascending order is this. So if we need a proof of whether the algorithm is correct or not, this mathematical entity can be used to prove the same. टेस्टिंग करने की हमें जरूरत नहीं है, अगर वो इसको प्रूव कर देता है तो हम मान लेते हैं कि इट इज करेक्ट. सो let's move further. We can express our algorithm as mathematical entities and use various strategies then to prove whether our algorithm is correct or not. But this is an expensive method. This is the cost upfront is expensive. The benefit comes late. हम लोग करेक्टनेस के पीछे भाग रहे हैं, बेनिफिट्स बहुत लेट आते हैं जब हम उसको डिप्लॉय कर देते हैं. मार्केट में हमें उस सॉफ्टवेयर को देना है, अगर हम लोग करेक्टनेस के चक्कर में बहुत डिटेल में चले जाते हैं तो वो डेडलाइंस मिस हो जाती हैं, एंड देयर आर सो मेनी रीजंस फॉर दैट. सो what is the best way to go about it? There are two things that they have discussed. One is called invariance and the second one is called mathematical induction. So these are the two methods that can be used to find the correctness of the algorithm. Invariance kuch bhi nahi hai. These are just like the comments that we are going to give at each and every part of the algorithm, and through that we are going to check, manually check, or through some system software we are going to check whether the that piece of code is doing exactly what it is meant to do. And mathematical induction I have already given an example. So in variance कंप्यूटर साइंस में क्या है, An invariant is a statement about the state of the variables that can be relied to hold true during the execution. So like I said uh, about the comments, what is an invariant is simply a statement about the state of some variable, and we have to rely on the particular statement and the state of some variables that it is true or false. So there are two types of invariants. One are called the loop invariants and one are called the class invariants. तो जो आपके loop invariants होते हैं, they hold only true for that particular loop, and whereas the class invariants hold true throughout the lifespan of the object, जब तक वो object destroy नहीं हो जाता है. So what is a loop invariant? So we have two types. One is iteration or a recursion. Recursion in itself is a loop. Loop invariants allow logical assertions about the behavior of the loop to be declared. तो हम लोग लॉजिकल असर्शंस डाल देते हैं अबाउट द बिहेवियर कि ये लूप कैसे काम करेगी. इसके लिए दो चीजें हो सकती हैं. कैन बी इम्प्लिसिटली डॉक्यूमेंटेड एज अ कमेंट, जैसा मैंने बताया कि हमने एक कमेंट लिख दिया कि दिस इज व्हाट द लूप or the statement, control statement, is supposed to do. Second thing is that it can be explicitly coded as a condition or assertion. हम लोग उसको चेक करने के लिए एक explicitly कोड कर सकते हैं या assertion डाल सकते हैं. So have a look at this loop invariant. So comments are given in there. Comments में उसने बता दिया है कि जब हमने statement लिखी है, उसके बाद जब हम लोग sum is equals to sum plus I कर रहे हैं, basically what is the purpose of that? The purpose of that is that invariant is sum is equals to sum plus 1 plus so on till I minus 1. अब हम लोग इस invariant को as you can say as a comment भी use कर सकते हैं या explicitly code भी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन ये हमें सिर्फ इतना बताता है कि if somebody else reads it or manually tries to find the correctness of something, so they can see whether the code is doing exactly what it is supposed to do. So what are the good practices of a loop invariants? So loop invariants के बारे में what are the good practices? Three things that are going to happen. The first is the initialization. The loop invariant must be true before we execute the loop. ठीक है, तो हम मानते हैं कि हमारा जो लूप इनवेरिएंट है या जो वो वेरिएबल है जिस आई की हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं या सम की बात कर रहे हैं, दैट विल होल्ड द वैल्यू आई इज सम इज इक्वल्स टू 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on till I minus 1. So that loop invariant must be true before we execute the loop. Update. If the loop invariant is true in one iteration, it must also be true in the next iteration. And finally, the conclusion. The loop invariant will tell us something about useful about the conclusion of the loop, which should help us understand the behavior. तो conclusion में हमें ये बताना है कि eventually we got what we wanted to achieve or not. So this is a loop invariant. कुछ यूज किए जाते हैं, कहीं पर यूज नहीं किए जाते हैं, but most of the people will still follow the mathematical induction part. तो loop invariants का ये एक और एग्जांपल है. This is to find the maximum value inside the you can say an array. तो इनिशियली हम लोग एक मैक्स को ले लेंगे, 0th एलिमेंट को मैक्स मांग लेंगे और फिर हम लोग हर एलिमेंट के साथ चेक करेंगे कि whether that element is giving us the maximum or not. And this is another example of you can say loop invariant. We can see that it satisfies the conclusion characteristic, but there is an issue. Loop invariant must be true at the start of the loop. What is the problem? इन्होंने स्टार्ट में इनिशियलाइजेशन नहीं किया है. इट शुड होल्ड ट्रू तो हमें उस चीज का भी ध्यान रखना होगा। ठीक है, तो इनवेरिएंट में आपको तीनों की तीनों चीजें ध्यान देनी पड़ेंगी, इनिशियलाइजेशन, अपडेट एंड conclusion. Okay, so there you see, if the length of the array is 0, throw now an illegal argument exception that the array is 0. हमने array की length को भी चेक किया है इसके अंदर कि that the length of the array is 0. Now we can say that we are also checking the you can say initialization part of it. So max is equals to v of 0. जैसा मैंने आपको बताया था कि इनिशियलाइज करना है तो हमें ये भी बताना पड़ेगा विच इज द फर्स्ट एलिमेंट वी कंसीडर इट टू बी द मैक्सिमम, कहां से शुरू करते हैं। तो जैसे ही मैंने मैक्स एल्गोरिदम के बारे में आपको स्टार्ट किया था तो आपको बताया कि हम मानकर चलते हैं एट द बिगिनिंग दैट अवर फर्स्ट एलिमेंट इज द लार्जेस्ट एलिमेंट, और उसके बाद हम लोग बाकी की चीजों को आगे बढ़ाते हैं। So similarly, we have a class invariant, which is an afterthought. In Java, it is typical to encode some invariants into the classes. For example, a date class only permits hours that is greater than equal to 0 and less than 24. The main idea is that the class methods ensure that there are no violations of the invariant. अगर हम लोग लूप इनवेरिएंट्स डालते हैं तो उनके ऊपर जो कॉमन इनवेरिएंट लगता है या रिस्ट्रिक्शन लगती है वो लगाना पॉसिबल नहीं है, विच इज पॉसिबल ओनली थ्रू द क्लास इनवेरिएंट्स। ठीक है, इसके कुछ एडवांटेजेस हैं, देयर आर सर्टेन डिसएडवांटेजेस आल्सो। कुछ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज इनवेरिएंट्स को सपोर्ट करती हैं, कुछ क्लासेस लैंग्वेजेस सपोर्ट नहीं करती हैं। सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स हैव टू बी कंसिडर्ड। Now we come to our most important topic, and this topic or mathematical induction is the mostly used mathematical proof for the correctness of the algorithm. तो इसमें क्या है, mathematical induction क्या है? A method of mathematical proof attempts to show that a statement is true for all the numbers. Okay, so what is this statement all about? This statement says that 3n minus 1 will always be a multiple of 2 or an even number. 3 of n minus 1 is a multiple of 2 or is an even number. अब इसको आप डालकर देख सकते हैं, 3 power 1 is 3 minus 1 is equals to 2. 3 power 3 is 27 minus 1 is equals to 26. Similarly, for all certain values, this will hold true. So this is the mathematical induction, that is 3 power n minus 1 is a multiple of 2 and it will hold. So this is what we can use to give the correctness of an algorithm. अगर वो कहती है कि this is the step I am doing and I am using this particular statement, that is 3 power something minus 1, and there is no need to prove that it will be a even number because it is a mathematical proof that 3 power n minus 1 is a multiple of 2. So we are sometimes use the mathematical inductions or mathematical proofs to prove that the algorithm is correct. So how do we approach the mathematical induction? Like we said in the invariants, we initialize, then we update, and then we conclude. Similarly, for mathematical induction, we have to start with the base case. What is the base case? 3 power n minus 1. So n is equal to 1 is the base case. So P of n is equals to 3n minus 1. The base case is where the value of P is equal to 1, that is 3 of 1 minus 1 is equals to 2, which is clearly true as 2 is multiple of 2. That is right. So this is our base case. The next is induction step. इंडक्शन स्टेप में हम क्या प्रूव करते हैं कि फॉर एनी वैल्यू ऑफ के, मतलब अभी तो हमने 1 लिया है ना, फॉर एनी वैल्यू ऑफ के द पी के होल्ड्स ट्रू। जैसे हमने यहाँ पर पी ऑफ के प्लस 1 लिया, के की वैल्यू 1 है, सो दैट मीन्स 3 इंटू 3 ऑफ के माइनस 1। सो k plus 1 can be written as 3 into 3k minus 1. So that is 3 of k plus 3 of k plus 3 of k minus 1, 2 into 3k plus 3 of k minus 1. So these are the induction. We are separating it. हमें पता क्या करना है कि we know that 3 of k minus 1 is true. हमें मालूम है that 3 of k is minus 1 is true, क्योंकि हमने बेस से स्टार्ट किया है, तो कम से कम ये बेस के लिए तो ट्रू है, दैट इज 3 of 1 minus 1 is true। लेकिन क्या हम ये प्रूव कर सकते हैं दैट इट इज ऑल्सो ट्रू फॉर k plus 1? देन द फॉलोइंग इंडक्शन हैज बीन गिवन। 3 of k plus 1 can be let's say broken into 3 into 3k, okay? So that basically becomes 3k plus 3k plus 3k minus 1, okay? And further it can be broken into 2 into 3 of k plus 3k of minus 1. We know that it is true for 3k minus 1, and further 2 into 3k is just the multiple of that, so it will hold true because उसके पीछे 3k minus 1 आ चुका है। So this is the base step. Then we are going to follow the induction steps. Induction steps हमें ये प्रूव करते हैं कि k plus 1 will hold true if it is true for k. So mathematical induction is the last thing that we are going to do in the lecture today. So what it is, we have seen sum as an iterative function. Iterative function क्या है? 1 by 1. So what is sum? If we want to find the sum of first n numbers, that is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, then that sum can be represented as an iterative function. In first iteration, we add 0 plus 1. In second iteration, we add 1 plus 2. In third iteration, we add 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, and so on. But it can also be summarized by the proposition of any natural number, that is n into n minus 1 divided by 2. So that is the final answer that I am talking about, 1 plus 2 plus something like that. The final summarization of it is that it is equal to n into n plus 1 divided by 2. So let us start with the base case. What does the base case say? The base case says if we take n is equals to 1, I repeat, if I take n is equals to 1, what is the sum of first n natural numbers? It is always equal to 1. I repeat, if n is equals to 1, the sum of first one natural number will be 1. क्या ये प्रूव होता है? 1 multiplied by 1 plus 1, that is 1 into 2, that is 2, divided by 2 is equals to 1. It is true. Now can we also prove that it is true for p of 1 plus 1, that is p of 2? That becomes 2 into 3 divided by 2, that becomes 3. That means 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. It is perfectly right. I repeat it. मैं यहाँ पर आपको रिपीट करके दिखा देता हूँ. So now if I want to find the sum of let's say first two natural numbers, that will be 0 plus 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. So that becomes p of 2 is equals to 2 into 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1 divided by 2. It becomes 2 into 3 divided by 2 is equals to 6 divided by 2 is equals to 3, which is equal to this. So that means yes, it holds true. That is, sum of first n numbers is equal to n into n plus 1 divided by 2. So we have already proved it for p of 1. We have already checked for p of 2. So the value of k is equals to 2, or any value. If this is true for p of k, is it also true for p of k plus 1, for which we need to prove it with the help of mathematical induction. So आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं, the mathematical induction says k into k plus 1 divided by 2. ये हम लोग ऑलरेडी टेस्ट कर चुके हैं, ये हम लोग ऑलरेडी टेस्ट जो है वो कर चुके हैं. सो दैट बिकम्स, what is the meaning of k into k plus 1 divided by 2? It stands for 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus so on till k. सिर्फ यहाँ तक है. I repeat, if I say k into k plus 1 divided by 2 is equal to 1 plus 2 plus so on till k, तो वो तो हमने यहाँ पर लिख दिया है, लेकिन हमने प्रूफ किसके लिए करना है? k प्लस 1 के लिए. तो इसीलिए हमने k प्लस 1 को इसके साथ ऐड कर दिया है, सो दैट वी कैन प्रूव दैट इट ऑल्सो होल्ड्स ट्रू फॉर k प्लस 1. Now, can we substitute this with k of k plus 1 divided by 2? That is, we can do it, because हमें मालूम है that 1 plus 2 plus 3 so on till k is equal to k underscore k plus 1 divided by 2. अब हमने करना क्या है? That we have an addition of k plus 1. So what we are doing is that इट इज इक्वल टू, अगर हम लोग इसको 2 के साथ यहाँ पर मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं, तो अगर हम लोग इसको 2 के साथ यहाँ पर मल्टीप्लाई कर देते हैं, तो दिस इज व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू गेट. 2 बाहर चला गया है, ये जो डिवाइडेड बाय 2 था इसको हम लोग ब्रैकेट के बाहर ले गए हैं, तो दिस विल बिकम द सेम एंड इट विल बिकम 2 into k plus 1, which means k plus 1 is into k plus 2 divided by 2, which becomes k plus 1 into k plus 1 plus 1. That is it. So that's it. We have been able to prove this thing, that 1 plus 2 plus 3 so on to k plus 1 divided by 2. So that's what we are able to achieve. Mathematical induction is not an impossible task. The only thing is that you should be able to prove that if for p of k, k into k plus 1 divided by 2 is hold करता है, तो you should be able to prove that this is, अगर मैं k plus 1 कर देता हूँ, that is also equivalent to k under bracket k plus 1 divided by 2. And we have been able to successfully do that at the end of this particular statement. K plus 1 into k plus 1 plus 1 divided by 2. So by mathematical induction, we have been able to prove this. Okay. So I request that you should try and understand that the complexity of an algorithm is not everything, but we also need a mechanism by which we can uh, uh, prove that our algorithm is correct. And the best method is to whatever method that you follow, you are able to prove it through the mathematical induction. उसके लिए सबसे पहले आपको उसको मैथमेटिकल फॉर्मूला में लाना पड़ेगा. जैसे कि मैं आपको बता देता हूं, व्हाट इज द लेट्स से factorial of 5. The factorial of 5 is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. What is the recursive mathematical representation of this? The factorial of 5 is equal to 5 multiplied by 4 factorial, isn't it? So what we have to prove is that if we are able to find the factorial of 5, that means k is equals to 5. Does it hold true for k plus 1 is equals to 6 as well? तो उसके लिए सबसे पहले हमें मैथमेटिकल जो है, मैथमेटिकल फॉर्मूला देना पड़ेगा फॉर व्हाट इज द फैक्टोरियल ऑफ 5. That means for k is equals to 5, and then through mathematical induction prove that if it holds for k, then it will also hold for k plus 1. So it is all about giving the mathematical representation and then proving it through mathematical induction for all possible values of k. So that's it for the today's lecture. This lecture will be available on the YouTube.